The Hum of Progress, written by Philip K. Dick's ghostwriter. Deep beneath the rolling hills of the English countryside, where the serene landscape belies the groundbreaking work happening below, a dedicated team of scientists toiled tirelessly, driven by a shared vision of the future. Their lab, a sterile cathedral of chrome and light, pulsed with the rhythmic hum of machinery, each beat a testament to human ingenuity. At its heart lay their creation, a quantum computer of unprecedented power, a marvel of modern science and engineering. Tonight they would push its limits further than ever before, venturing into uncharted territories of computation and discovery. Dr. Eleanor Vance, the project lead, adjusted her glasses and surveyed the scene with a mixture of pride and anticipation. Excitement tinged with trepidation thrummed through her veins, a feeling shared by her entire team. Years of research, countless sleepless nights, and unwavering dedication had all culminated in this moment of truth. "All right, team," she announced, her voice unwavering despite the tremor in her chest. "Let's make history." The room fell silent, each scientist focused, ready to etch their names into the annals of scientific achievement. A glitch in the matrix. In the heart of a state-of-the-art research facility, a team of scientists was on the brink of a groundbreaking discovery. The atmosphere was electric, filled with a mix of excitement and tension. They had been working tirelessly for months, perfecting every detail of their experiment. Today was the day they would finally see the fruits of their labor. The air crackled with anticipation as the scientists initiated the experiment. Each member of the team had a specific role, and they moved with precision and purpose. The room was filled with the hum of advanced machinery and the soft beeping of monitors tracking every variable. Data streamed across monitors, painting the room in a flickering dance of light and shadow. The screens displayed complex algorithms and real-time data, a testament to the cutting-edge technology at their disposal. The scientists watched intently, their eyes darting between the screens and their instruments. The quantum computer, a tangled behemoth of wires and superconducting circuits, hummed with increasing intensity. It was the heart of the experiment, a marvel of modern engineering that held the key to unlocking new realms of possibility. The hum grew louder, a sign that the machine was reaching its peak performance. Then, without warning, a high-pitched whine pierced the air. The sound was sharp and jarring, cutting through the focused silence of the lab. The scientists exchanged worried glances, their hands hovering over their controls, ready to intervene if necessary. Monitors flickered erratically, casting distorted shadows across the room. The once steady stream of data became a chaotic jumble of numbers and symbols, a visual representation of the glitch that had disrupted their experiment. The room was bathed in an eerie, flickering light. The whine escalated into a deafening screech, sending shivers down their spines. It was a sound that seemed to vibrate through their very bones, making it impossible to think clearly. The scientists covered their ears, trying to block out the noise, but it was relentless. A wave of disorientation washed over Eleanor, a sudden dizziness that made the room spin. She clutched the edge of a nearby table, trying to steady herself. The world around her seemed to blur and shift, as if reality itself was being distorted by the glitch. Then, just as abruptly as it began, the noise ceased. The lab was plunged into an almost oppressive silence, the sudden absence of sound leaving a ringing in their ears. The monitors went blank, their screens dark and unresponsive. Silence descended, heavy and absolute. The scientists stood frozen, their minds racing to comprehend what had just happened. The experiment had gone awry, and they were left to pick up the pieces and figure out what had caused the glitch in the matrix. 10 minutes lost. Eleanor blinked, her head throbbing. The clock on the wall displayed a time 10 minutes ahead of what she remembered. Had she blacked out? She glanced around, a knot of unease tightening in her stomach. The other scientists seemed equally disoriented, their faces etched with confusion. What just happened? Dr. Chen, her colleague, mumbled, his voice laced with uncertainty. Nobody seemed to have a clear answer. The silence stretched, punctuated by the frantic beeping of the lab's alarm system. Something was wrong, terribly wrong. The Man Who Wasn't There, a title that seemed to echo the strange events that were about to unfold. The following morning, the world outside the lab seemed subtly off. The city, usually bustling with life, felt eerily quiet. The fog that hung in the air added to the sense of unease, casting long shadows that seemed to move on their own. Eleanor walked to work, her usual route, yet something felt different. The familiar streets seemed foreign, as if she were walking through a dream. The buildings loomed larger, the colours more muted. A nagging sense of displacement clung to her, a feeling that something was amiss. She glanced around, hoping to find some semblance of normalcy, but the faces she saw were unfamiliar, the expressions unreadable. As she approached her local coffee shop, she noticed a man sitting at her usual table. He was alone, staring intently at a half-eaten pastry, as if it held the answers to the universe. He looked vaguely familiar, but she couldn't place him. His face was a blur in her memory, like a name on the tip of her tongue that she just couldn't recall. He looked up, his eyes meeting hers, and for a fleeting moment, a jolt of recognition shot through her. It was as if they had shared a moment in time, a connection that was both profound and fleeting. But before she could place the feeling, it vanished. The connection was gone, leaving her with a sense of loss and confusion. He returned to his pastry, seemingly oblivious to her presence. It was as if the moment had never happened, and she was left standing there, questioning her own reality. Eleanor shook her head, attributing the odd encounter to stress. She tried to dismiss the feeling, but the nagging sense of unease lingered, a shadow that refused to be ignored. As the day progressed, strange occurrences began to surface across the country. People reported missing chunks of time, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. Social media buzzed with bewildered accounts of objects appearing and disappearing, of conversations that left no trace in their memories. A collective sense of unease began to settle over the nation. Eleanor, glued to the news reports, felt a chill run down her spine. The anomalies were too coincidental, too closely linked to the events at the lab. What had they unleashed? The thought sent a wave of dread washing over her. Back at the lab, the scientists scrambled to understand the situation. The quantum computer, now eerily silent, offered no clues. Its intricate workings remained a black box, its secrets locked away. Theories were thrown around, each more outlandish than the last. Had they created a rift in space-time, a parallel universe bleeding into their own? The uncertainty gnawed at Eleanor's sanity. The world as she knew it was unraveling, and she was at the epicenter of it all. The weight of responsibility pressed down on her, suffocating. Days turned into weeks, and the bizarre occurrences continued to escalate. People reported seeing loved ones who were confirmed dead, only for them to vanish into thin air. Buildings appeared overnight, their existence undocumented, their purpose unknown. The world was becoming a surreal dreamscape, a patchwork of reality and fabricated memories. The government, overwhelmed and out of its depth, issued a statement urging calm and assuring the public that they were investigating the matter, but their words rang hollow in the face of the unexplainable. Eleanor, haunted by guilt and fear, threw herself into her work, desperately searching for a way to undo what they had done. One evening, while reviewing the experiment data, she stumbled upon an anomaly. A faint signal buried deep within the quantum computer's logs. It was faint, almost imperceptible, but it was there. The signal pulsed with a rhythm, a pattern that seemed almost familiar. It was then that it hit her. The rhythm matched the brainwave patterns of human memory. It was as if something had interfered with their collective consciousness, deleting and rewriting memories at will. The realization sent a shiver down Eleanor's spine. If something had tampered with their memories, what else could it control? Were they merely puppets in a grand cosmic play, their lives manipulated by an unseen hand? And if so, what was its purpose? As Eleanor delved deeper into the mystery, she couldn't shake the feeling that they were not alone, that somewhere out there something was watching, observing, waiting for its next move. The thought sent a chill down her spine, a cold dread that whispered of a future far stranger and more terrifying than she could have ever imagined.